Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Spoken. Terry Love here. Lance Twitwell. Derek Williams is absent on today. He called out, so we'll be going on without him. But before we go into our sports segment, about the Chiefs sports segment, we'll talk about today is the 11th anniversary of 9/11. New York City, stay strong. The victims' families, we appreciate you guys being strong and being encouraging to us as we proceed with life in general. Also for the military families fighting the war and leaving the war, we appreciate you guys for your service and everything. Thank you. So we have a quick moment of silence for that. All right, talking about Chiefs football here now. A devastating loss here at Arrowhead Stadium against the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan came to town with Julio Jones and killed us. I mean, it's simple as that. So offense looked good first half. Matt Castle looked sharp first half. Jamal Charles looked awesome. McCluster was doing his thing. Bo had a couple of catches and everything, but it wasn't enough. Second half, after a field goal missed by a suck-up, seeing everything started going downhill after that. So, Lance, what do you think about first game of the season against the Atlanta Falcons?
It's a very frustrating loss. I think people expected this team to play a whole game of intense football, and that's not what we got. Unfortunately, what we got was the things that we were very concerned about all week long, Terry. We talked about it. I talked with Nick Athen from Warpaint Illustrated on the podcast, Out of Bounds podcast as well. The concerns I have was the simple fact that our defensive backs were so depleted. I don't know if we had a chance against Julio Jones, Roddy White, and Matt Ryan throwing the ball to him. I don't think we had a chance against the red zone. You know, when our backs are against the wall, do we really have an opportunity to really catch up? Because as soon as the game started, you know, the Falcons are driving right down our necks, and they took the lead and they never gave it up. So that was the first big problem. And the second big problem, and it's what I've talked about for, you guys have all heard it since May. Controversy or not, fact is what I believe. Matt Castle cannot put a whole game against a good team. And he started. I was giving him all the props in the world on Twitter. I was telling everybody I thought he did an incredible job getting the game going, fired up the team. He looked like he was going to have a good game. And then all of a sudden, he just went right back into Matt Castle mode, and he didn't change anything. And it just really, really irked me. It was more. I would rather him have a whole bad game than to show us that and to go right back into it. It was like a Jekyll and Hyde.
Well, could we all put all that into Matt Castle's hand? I mean, as in, what about the offensive coordinator? Could that have been something that they did? Because to me, it seemed like the first half, they opened the playbook. They were trying some things here. Saw what was working. Tried one trick play, didn't go well. Got back to the basics, started scoring again. But like I said, after the first field goal miss before halftime, the suck up, everything kind of went downhill.
I'm not putting it all on Castle. Right. What I'm saying is he plays the most important position on the field.
Right.
Therefore, he's going to get a lot of the flack unnecessarily and necessarily. And unfortunately for him, it's more necessary than unnecessary because of the fact that he's been so inconsistent in his career.
Right.
He hasn't taken that next step. And a lot of people, including myself, saw glimpses of it in training camp and in the preseason. We're like, hey, you know what? Look at him. As long as he just stays within himself, he's going to be fine. He's got all the protection on the offensive line, which they didn't play so well against the Falcons because the Falcons have a pretty decent defense. The short game, with Breston and McCluster, he can utilize those guys so well. And Moiaki and Boss had a really good game. I felt they both utilized he utilized them well early, but it's like he just went away from that.
Right.
Baldwin was a ghost. That cannot happen if this team wants to make the postseason.
And for the fans who out there said that we don't need Dwayne Baldwin needs to take over and everything like that. Prime example happened on Sunday. We didn't see Baldwin. I love Baldwin. He has a lot of potential and everything. But for you guys to want to get rid of our franchise player, Dwayne Bowe, because Baldwin had a good training camp, it's kind of awkward. So make sure you guys look at that. I mean, are you going to put Quinn in or Stanzi in?
Well, there's nobody that's going to just come in. The Castle's going to have to get carted off the field in order for him not to be the starting quarterback for this team. And that really is sad to say, guys. And this is why I've been telling. I'm not trying to look at me, but this is why I told you guys I wanted to draft the quarterback. Yes, I wanted Tannehill, but the fact that we could have just taken one of the good guys in this draft, there was a few good guys. Everybody's like, well, who was there really there? I don't know, Nick Foles, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, guys like that. You can take those guys.
Another thing to piggyback off what Lance is saying real quick is that the money doesn't really matter to the Seattle Seahawks, for example. They paid Matt Flynn to come over and be their starting quarterback. He got beat up by a rookie. He's getting paid all that money sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse why, we paid Matt Cal $63 million, so that's when he gets to start. No, if you really were trying to win games, that's what you need to do.
And since 2007, the Chiefs have been 23-58, the worst in the AFC. I don't feel like Castle has shown us, and I don't want to make this all about Castle again. I'm just saying that if we're talking about the quarterback position, there's still the biggest question on this offense. how is that gonna change anything? How are we gonna get any better? And I felt that if you would have drafted a quarterback, it would have lit a fire under Castle to motivate him even more to say, "Hey, listen, this is my last opportunity." I mean, and also it gives you a backup.
Prime example: Tebow and Sanchez. Sanchez killed everybody on Sunday. They brought in the competition. He stepped up to the plate. Hell, Joe Flacco on last night did an excellent job against the Bengals and whatnot. I mean, it's the 32 teams in the NFL. He named 30 of them that has a above average quarterback in their starting position right now.
Right, and if you look at the teams that make the postseason consistently, they drafted their quarterback, except maybe the Saints. I mean, besides them, I mean, maybe the Eagles, maybe. I mean, you look at the Cowboys, the Texans, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Green Bay Packers. You go down the list, these guys were drafted and brought up, and now they're leading their teams to Super Bowls, and that's why should the Chiefs do any different?
Let's go now. Let's talk about the defense now. Holly was gone. That was a big impact, like you were talking about beforehand. That we don't have another pass rusher on the field. I heard Houston's name like once, maybe twice during the game, but other than that, I didn't hear anything about it from anybody on defense. Honestly, DJ he kind of disappeared there. Eric Berry, I didn't hear too much from him. But Stephen Rout had a good play, played well for that position at that time. But other than that, the defense was embarrassed out there, and that's what it was. And I know Roman Cornell will go to the drawing board and make sure when we head out to Buffalo on this upcoming Sunday that does not happen again. And I'm quite sure it won't, because Brandon Flowers should be back, Holly will be back, and possibility, it's a question. It's questionable about Lewis.
I wouldn't count Lewis in, honestly. He looks like he's hurting pretty bad. That shoulder's not healing very quick. But if we're talking about the Buffalo game, come on, Chiefs fans, can we really afford to lose this game? I mean, no. I don't want to make an extreme here and say, oh my God, the season's over. Oh, just throw it. It's done. Give away your tickets. No, what I'm saying is this: you cannot mentally, as a team, give up a game like this to Buffalo, who is so banged up right now. Just in week 1, guys, just got blown out from New York. This team is just going to say, listen, I'm just going to come out swinging haymakers. We don't have anything to lose. David Nelson's out with a torn ACL. Fred Jackson, who's been our primary offensive player, is going to be out maybe for the entire season, but they say at least 3 to 4 weeks. Guys, this is a perfect opportunity for the Chiefs to pick themselves up and we need this win.
We need this win.
To think about it, to win on the road is a big thing for this Chiefs team right now. They got to win on the road, so when they go back home, they get back on a homestand, they feel better about themselves. The fans are feeling better about, we just lost that first frustrating, week 1 game. We went on the road and we took care of business. We took care of the Bills. Makes everybody feel better. But it is more about feeling better. It's about getting the results, and it's about getting that game.
One final thing before we end the show today. The fans. We as fans are something unique. Lance talked about before. Fans are fanatics. We love you when you're doing well. We hate you when you're doing horrible. I mean, the crowd was behind Matt Castle on Sunday, first half. Second half, you hear him get booed. Same thing with Dwayne Bowe. He missed the first catch. Fans booed him. Why are you booing Dwayne Bowe for it? I mean, we already know that his history, but he's been the most consistent player on our team for the last several years now. So why are you guys booing him? Because what's going to happen is that if you guys continue to treat him like that, he'll go to another team and dominate, and they'll be looking silly like, oh, well, who's our starting wide receiver now?
Like I said, it always cracks me up, Terry, that Kansas City fans, and I no disrespect to you because I'm a Kansas City fan myself, so I include myself in this because I've been hypocritical at times as well in the past. We talk about we don't want to we got to build around these guys. We got to do this and do that to win championships, and you guys all know it. We're all very smart. Kansas City fans are very smart at any sport, don't matter. But the moment comes where you got to pay the guy. You got to pay these players to keep him. And, oh no, he's not worth that money. He's greedy. This is their profession, guys. This is more than just a game. This is their livelihood. Right. This is what pays their bills. So you could say, well, they're millionaires and everything. Well, they got to make the millions in order to be millionaires, right? So Dwayne Bowe asking money, which he clearly deserves. Clearly deserves. You got to pay him. So you boo the guy for coming out there and dropping a pass, which, by the way, was well over his head and was very hard to catch because it was contested anyway. But then you cheer him the very next catch. It just to me, if I was Dwayne Bowe, I'd be like, you guys are jokers, man.
Exactly. So, I mean, we've seen it happen before when Neil Smith going to the Broncos. Don't be surprised that he'll go to a team like the Broncos or the Chargers, or hell, even the Raiders, in their own division or somewhere else. They'll pay them money. Have no problem paying them money to help out their future quarterback. Redskins, need more wideouts. Everyone else needs help. So, Chiefs fans, just be a little bit, more,
well, look at it like this, real
more
quick.
patient.
Look at Brandon Carr makes $50 million. A lot of fans didn't think he was worth it. You think the Cowboys believe he's worth it now? Absolutely.
Watch the first game of the season against the Giants. They did not hardly throw it to his side.
No, that's right. And when they did, it was all for naught. So what I'm saying is, you say these guys aren't worth this money. Go ask another franchise that real quick and see if they won't think the same, or they'll disagree with you because they'll pay them. And that's why the Cowboys right now looks to be a team that could be a Super Bowl contender.
Predictions. What's the score for Sunday Bills?
It's early to say. I think the Chiefs are going to score near 30 points. I think they're going to go about 27-28, and I think the Bills are they're lost right now. Right. I think they're going to probably score around 9. I'd say they score 20. I think they'll get 20.
All right, Terry Love here on Spoken. Lance Wood here on the Spoken. Derek Williams not here on the Spoken. Next time, thanks for joining us. Fans, be more patient with Bo. We've been patient enough with Castle. Possibly, who knows? Let you guys be the judge. Thank you.